Hello folks, I'm back with my second promised video. This time I'm going to lay out how I've been kind of seeing things over the past few years as far as how things work. And in order to do this, I'm going to use the World of Warcraft game as an analog or a model to explain the different concepts as I see them. Now, certainly I'm not asking anyone to uh, agree with me. I'm just hoping I can explain it in a way that it makes sense, at least from what I'm trying to say. So the World of Warcraft is a game where people create avatars uh, to certain specifications, and they birth them in this world that exists. But in the World of Warcraft, there's only one world. However, there are players all over the world playing this, and in order to accommodate that, there are multiple computer servers that house these players, but they're all playing the same game, the same world. So when you make the player character, as they're called, you can choose which server you want that player character to exist on. Now, within the World of Warcraft, there also exists a type of character called the non-player character. These non-player characters look exactly like many of the characters in the game that are player characters, and they all have tasks and duties to perform. But you could consider them non-free will characters because they have defined paths and they will do those paths over and over and over again. Now, player characters can knock non-player characters off their path through their own free will, but every time the non-player character will continually try to reset itself back along its path. This non-player character can be anybody from a shopkeeper to one of the major characters in the World of Warcraft going around doing their thing, but their thing is going to be the same no matter what server they're on because they're doing the same thing on every server. So now, in addition to these multitude of servers in the World of Warcraft, there are also different types of servers. There's what's called the player versus player server, which is the type of server where people like to sneak up on everybody and kill them from behind, sneaky. You have the normal or player versus environment server, which is more of a progression and self improvement type of activity on that server. And then at the last one is the role playing server, where you have folks that while they're playing the game, they actually method act, their characters and become their characters and chat like their characters in game. So if we strip away the names and the judgments from these servers and we focus only on frequency, for the sake of discussion, let's call them lower, medium, and higher frequency servers. Now, when we're talking about the world of Earthcraft, we're talking about more servers than you could ever imagine, each based upon a specific frequency. Now, each of these servers of different frequency were set up the exact same way with the exact same world. However, due to the free will of the player characters on the servers, they're not completely the same. All big choices, all major decisions are played out on another server. So if you make one choice, the other choice not, or the other road not taken is going to play out on another server, another frequency. And that doesn't necessarily mean there's any player characters active on that server. Now, in the world of Earthcraft, the existence of the other servers is transparent to the player characters. However, they move between them based on frequency. They constantly move between frequency-based servers that are very, very close in frequency and no major differences at all, but they're constantly doing it without any knowledge of them doing it. So here's where we get to the part where I tell you what I think's been going on, or using this example to explain what's been going on in this world, at least for the last 5 or 10 years. And I want you to keep in mind, when I talk about or when I use the word servers, you could use the word Earth or Earths or worlds, or I like timelines. I think that's a good one that I like to use. But they can all be used in the same way for this example, as far as I'm concerned. So imagine whoever, whichever you align with, is running the world of Earthcraft, and they decide that they need to set up a special server. And what they do is they set up this special server that's apart from all the other servers, and they take certain avatars, certain player characters from within the other servers in the world of Earthcraft, and they bring them transparently to this new server. I mean, as I said, they move between servers all the time, so they can be moved between servers and they're not even going to realize it. So they're over on this special, I call it a high frequency server, and they're placed on this server for for protection, for maintenance, and to increase their frequency in their field. Now, all these higher frequency avatars, player characters, uh, they came from different from servers of different frequencies. So if one avatar or player character was, say, the highest frequency on a lower frequency server, then that server that they're coming from may be quite different from someone who is a lowest frequency, but a high frequency still on a high frequency server. Their realities maybe on that server is going to look quite different. And since it's the collective consciousness of any given server that ultimately projects its reality, what you end up ultimately is a lot of confused people on the special higher frequency server, and a lot of folks on the other servers thinking that those folks are all crazy. So the obvious question is why are these player characters or avatars placed on this higher frequency server? And the reason being is they're being prepared. They're being pummeled with high frequency, whatever juju from the universe to increase their field, to increase their vibration. And if they had done this to all the other servers in the world of Earthcraft, people wouldn't have been able to handle the energy. The frequency would have killed a lot of people. So if they're all in the same server, they only have to do that to the one server. And I think that's kind of what's been happening. And because all these servers can interact with each other, everyone still thinks they're still on the same server. And I think there's probably a lot of high frequency folks that aren't on the high frequency server that are still on the regular servers because may have been maybe one of those folks that couldn't handle the energy. But what I see happening is there's going to come a time very soon where the lower frequency servers are going to be shut down. And what you're going to be left with is the higher frequency folks that were left on the other servers experiencing a whole new paradigm, a way of life. Their new job will be to raise their vibration at a rate that's comfortable for them. The folks, the player characters, the avatars on the higher frequency server, at that time they will start to be of service to everybody else. And they're going to be able to relearn and begin to exercise abilities long lost. And I think that's going to be pretty cool. Everyone else on the other servers they're going to be working to be able to do the same one day. The end. That's pretty much it. I thought that was a model where I could get out kind of my version of things, and it's pretty much remained unchanged, but I never really could have put it in the context before, but that's about as close as I can get it. Now, that said, I know that there's so much more to it than that, things that we probably can't even comprehend, along the lines of, people say that, the existence of colors that we've never seen before. How do you wrap your head around that? I have a hard time with that one, but it's the same type of thing. But I don't think we have to wait much longer to wrap our heads around it. So anyway, thank you for listening. I hope no one took any offense to this. And if you did, well, you got some more work to do. I love you all, and take care. Bye.